I hadn't got any intentions of coming out this morning, but then the neighbours woke me up at, oh God, just after 2. Well, actually not the neighbours' kids. And I thought, oh God, I really ought to do something. So I a quick look at the weather forecast and thought, why not? It's only 2.5 hours away. The sun is just rising on the right hand side. It's a long time since I've been here, and I wanted to be down here, but there is actually a gentleman there and I didn't want to push in, and he's now getting wet. Because we are getting quite good waves. I've not come to do anything startling. I've just come to try and get my eye in again, because it seems like a while since I've been at the coast. Long exposures, obviously. There's 2 subjects. There's the lighthouse, and then there's these groins. I don't know if you can make them out in the background. I like those groins, they're rather nice. There's also some rocks down here. I don't know if I can make anything out of those. You're going to have to shoot from up on the walkway down. But I don't know, we can have a go. So as you can see, I'm on the 70 to 55. I am, it's just a little bit further in, I think. That's it. Oh yeah, hold on 2 seconds. Yeah, right. Sorry, 17 to 55. I've got a 0.6 medium grad and a 6 stop. Didn't want to go for the 10 stop. Far too long an exposure, that is. What about 35, 40 seconds? Cool, the sun is rising tremendously now. It's very calm. It's very calm up here with the waves. Oh, yes, they're coming in quite nicely. I've got F14, I think. I've moved the white balance because it was very blue when I got here. The sea is a beautiful colour again. And that's about all I can say, really. It's nice to be out of the coast. It doesn't smell like the seaside, though. It's really weird. Oh, we've done it. Yeah, that's better. 35 seconds. I've just got the sun rising. I've got the walkway going down to the left, out to the, I was going to say the castle. It's not a castle, is it? It's a lighthouse. And then I've just got the sun peeking over on the right hand side. I'm just going to tweak that a bit. Down, just to even it up a bit. What I'm trying to do is get the lighthouse on the left, the sun on the right, but sort of an equidistance to the edges of the frames, whilst keeping the walkway coming in bottom left hand side of the image. It's a long time since I've been out for sunrise over here. Well, sunrise at the coast. It's kind of threatening to light up. There's a big bank of cloud, which is kind of static. It's not going anywhere or doing anything. But it's not raining, although it was as I pulled in. I just spoke to a gentleman. He's also got up at daft o'clock this morning. Yeah, yes, that's more like it. I'm just going to do 35 seconds. And because my brain is a little bit frazzled, simply because it's far too early in the morning when I got up, I'm actually going to set the timer. It's no good looking at the alarm clock, is it? Stopwatch, that'll do. Right. I've set it to timer, so I don't have to use any sort of remote trigger. And I'm just going to let it run for 30 seconds. Wasn't quite long enough. I think we're going to be about 36, 37 seconds. I really want to get down and shoot those. I might shoot them from up here, shooting slightly downwards, and make a square crop. But I'd like to get, you can get down onto the little forebeach down here and shoot that way with those in the foreground out to the, oh, hold on. That's better. That was exactly 30 seconds, but according to my stopwatch it was 35. Yeah, like that one. So I'll just, restart. Too many buttons to press. Right. I'm going to crack on. Purely by accident, I kind of came across a different composition to which I've ever shot before. This time I'm going portrait orientation. There's some lovely light on the clouds behind the lighthouse. And down here we've got the steps leading down onto what I guess would be a bit of beach. So I've managed to get some of the step in and then the walkway. I've missed out all the railings, which you'll have seen on, or you will see, I'm not sure if I've shown them or I'm going to show them. I shot landscape with the railings leading in because I couldn't get to where I wanted to be unless I interfered with the other photographer's composition. Where was I at? Yes, I've missed out the railings. I've got the walkway leading in, I've got the lighthouse, and then the lovely clouds. And I think that actually works. I'm getting just a bit of whiteness around the steps where the waves are coming up, a little bit of whiteness either side of the walkway, and then, as I say, the glorious colour. I say glorious, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration. There's some nice oranges in the clouds behind the lighthouse. There's also a rainstorm moving in. You can see the rain streaks. My groin, that didn't sound right. The groins, not my groin, the groins are still well above the water, so I've still got a chance to shoot those. I think I'm about f14, still with just the 6 stop and the 0.6 grad. About 40 seconds is right. I'm just getting a little bit of blown highlights over here because we've got nice soft cloud, then we've got a whopping great gap, which is bright blue, and then we've got another bank of cloud. No amount of filtering, I don't think, is actually going to sort that out. Yeah, I quite like that. See how far down I can go. If I was being sensible, I'd probably get the 11 to 16 out. I've just moved it down, so I've got the lighthouse is on the top third, the steps are on the bottom third, and then we've got the water in the middle. And I've not seen that composition before, but I think I'm quite pleased with that. And I expected to find this place rammed with photographers because it's such a nice day. Yeah, 54 seconds is too much blueness, blown sky out there, but I actually quite like the composition. We're always fiddling as photographers. What I am trying to avoid is where the railings end, there's a rock and it's not quite getting covered with water. And I'd like to sort of miss that out if I could, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I've come to these groins. I've done the first image, which caught my eye immediately. Let me just see what we're doing with that. Oh yes, like that, lovely. Right, now I've got one image in the bag, we're okay. I stood down there and I was shooting landscape orientation straight across the bay with just, we've got 2, 4, 6, you've got 9 groins. But I was getting a bit of the cliff face in, and, oh, excuse me, I've got hair all over the place, and the docklands in the back. It just didn't feel right. I was out at 55 mil, wasn't really giving me enough reach. I wanted to isolate the bottom 2, 4, 7 groins. Would have been easy to say 9 minus 2, wouldn't it? Hey ho. And it felt like an image I would have taken when I started doing photography. If that makes sense. Oh look, there's some groins and there's some nice sea, and that's it. I've moved up the pathway, so I'm shooting down with the groins on the left hand side of the image, and I've managed to lose the majority of the docklands. Right in the far distance, I don't think you'll make it out. There are buildings and a tall chimney and a windmill but I don't think they're actually going to make an impact on the scene. No. We've got sunlight coming in from the right hand side, putting some nice light on the groins. They're not central, they're kind of starting on the third and moving out to the right hand side. I think it'll work as a squarish crop. We're getting some nice shadows because obviously you've got sunlight coming in, it's being blocked by the groins, and then you're getting the shadows coming back. Doing the long exposure has brought out the beautiful pastel blue of the water. I've got a small amount of movement in the sky. I'm at f10, I'm at 112 seconds, and I've got the 10 stop in because the light is now obscenely bright. Ooh, I keep looking at the sun because the sun is in between banks of cloud. I could, in fact I think I probably will. I'm going to move it up to f14. I might just see if I can. I'm having to be a little bit cautious because we've got the rocks down here. I don't want to get any of those in. I think I'm at about full stretch on the tripod. I could just pull that up a little bit to allow me to pull the composition out a little bit without getting those rocks in, and still not including any of the docklands in the background. Moving the first of the set of 2 groins further to the left hand side. Being back down here, which was where I was just now, I was getting separation between all of the groins. The first 6, there's quite a decent amount of separation because they're next to each other, so you've got a groin and a gap down the middle. The bottom 3, there's 2 as a pair, and then there's 1. And the 1 is almost virtually in line with the middle of the gap between the other 2. And I wanted separation between all of them. But I still wasn't 100% happy with the composition. So I've moved further back up. I've lost the separation between the bottom 3. But it's enabled me to zoom out slightly more and still not get the rocks in. Sorry, I realised I've disappeared. Yes, it's allowing me to zoom out slightly more and still get the rocks in. Sorry, it's allowing me to zoom out slightly more and not get the rocks in. If I was feeling energetic, I could actually stand up here and I might have a go at that. I'd like to get a landscape orientation, but I'm just not convinced that would work here. I think that would look a bit not right. Can't think of a better way to describe it. Yes, not right is the word I'm looking for. And I'd like this to be slightly high key, so I'm just going to let it run. That was a reasonably good morning. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. It didn't smell like the seaside though, it's most bizarre. There was no, what is it, salty smell? Lots of seagulls, or gulls, I shouldn't call them seagulls, they're gulls apparently, hey ho. And that's it. Yes, I'm off ski. It is, I don't know what it is, about half past 6 I would say, 6:45. And well worth the trip up here. Definitely well worth the trip. So I hope you enjoy the images, and thanks for coming along. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Toodaloo!